Hello, fresh green peas are compared to an emerald jewel on the dining table because of their refreshing green color and naturally sweet taste. They are completely different from dried peas or canned peas. However, fresh green peas are very temperamental. Just overboil them by 1 minute, and the peas will turn yellowish, wrinkle, and lose all their sweetness, becoming soft and bland. Classification: eat the pod or remove the pod. When you go to the market, you will see 2 types of fresh green peas. Do not confuse how they are eaten. Garden peas. Characteristics: thick, hard, and tough pods. The peas inside are large, round, and plump. Usage: this type is eaten only for the peas, and the pod is discarded. You must shell the peas to cook soup, yanjo fried rice, or stew meat. The pod is not edible, contains too much fiber. Snow peas, sugar snap peas. Characteristics: thin flat pods or slightly swollen, with very small peas inside. Usage: this type is eaten whole, including both the pod and the peas. The pod is very crunchy and sweet. It is commonly used for stir-frying with garlic, stir-frying with beef. Preparation: removing strings and washing at the right time. Green peas that are eaten with the pod are delicious, but they often get stuck in the teeth. Removing the fibrous string important. For the type that is eaten whole flat peas, there is a very tough fibrous string running along the seam of the pod. You must gently snap the tip of the pod and pull away this string. Otherwise, when eating, it feels very unpleasant, like chewing on a plastic string. Wash at the right time. Green peas have a thin protective coating. Only wash the peas immediately before cooking. If you wash them and then store them in the refrigerator, the remaining moisture will cause the peas to become soft, rotten, and moldy extremely quickly. The secret to boiling: thermal shock. Why are restaurant peas bright green? Well, the peas you boil become dull and yellowish. Do not cover the pot. When boiling peas, leave the lid open so that the organic acids can evaporate with the water. Covering the pot makes the peas turn yellow. Thermal shock technique: blanching. Step 1. Bring water to a full boil plus a little salt to keep the green color plus a few drops of cooking oil to make the peas glossy. Step 2. Add the peas and boil quickly, only 2 to 3 minutes for garden peas,
just like you
1
said
to
it
2
would.
minutes for snow peas. Step 3. Remove them immediately and place them into a bowl of ice water. Result: the sudden cold temperature helps lock in the color and crunchiness. The peas will stay bright green, and when you bite into them, they will make a pleasant pop in your mouth. Eat raw or cooked. Fresh green peas have a sweetness similar to fruit. So many people like to eat them raw. Lectin warning: fresh green peas contain a small amount of lectin and anti-nutrients. Although less than red beans or black beans, eating too many raw peas may still cause bloating and mild nausea. It is best to blanch them briefly or stir-fry them until just cooked. It is safer and also enhances the sweetness more than eating them raw. Do not overcook. Vitamin C and B vitamins in green peas are very sensitive to heat. If you simmer peas for too long in soup, the peas will break apart, lose their sweetness, developing a starchy taste, and lose all their vitamins. Add the peas at the very end when the dish is almost finished. The race against sugar. This is a little-known secret about the sweetness of green peas. Sugar turns into starch. As soon as the peas are picked from the plant, the natural sugars inside green peas begin converting into starch very quickly. After only 24 hours, they lose 50% of their sweetness and become starchy. How to handle it? After buying them, eat them the same day. If you cannot finish them, do not keep them in the refrigerator compartment. They will still lose sweetness. Briefly boil them using the thermal shock method as instructed in minute 3. Drain them well and divide them into zip bags for freezing freezer compartment. Green peas frozen this way retain their sweetness and nutritional value better than fresh peas stored for a long time in the refrigerator. The secret of 7 holes and 9 holes. Did you know that not all lotus roots are the same? The number of holes in a lotus root determines how it should be cooked. 7-hole lotus root rough skin, dark yellow color. Characteristics: high starch content, low water content. Flavor: when cooked, it becomes very soft, sticky, and tender, similar to potatoes. Best for simmering bones, making soup, and cooking sweet desserts. Do not use this type for stir frying because it will not be crunchy. 9 whole lotus root thin skin, silvery white color. Characteristics: more water, less starch, very crunchy. Flavor: refreshing and pleasantly crisp. Best for stir frying, making salads, sweet and sour pickles, or deep frying until crispy. General selection tips: choose lotus roots with short, thick segments, a heavy feel in the hand, and no damage. Avoid roots that are unnaturally white bleached or have a strange smell. Whitening and removing mud. Lotus root easily turns black, oxidizes, and mud often hides deep inside the small holes, preventing discoloration. Immediately after peeling and slicing, soak the lotus root in a bowl of water mixed with vinegar or lemon juice. Effect: the acid helps keep the lotus root bright white and prevents it from turning brown and unattractive. Removing mud. If the holes are full of black mud, the best method is to slice the lotus root thinly. Soak it in water and stir vigorously with chopsticks to wash the mud out. If you want to keep the root whole, use a long chopstick wrapped with cloth or a small straw cleaning brush. Clean each hole under running water. Red alert: parasites. Because lotus root grows at the bottom of ponds and stagnant water, the risk of infection with intestinal fluke larvae is extremely high. Absolutely do not eat raw. Whether making salad or juice, you must blanch it in boiling water first. Eating raw lotus root without heat treatment is the shortest path to fluke disease, causing abdominal pain, intestinal blockage, and exhaustion. How to blanch while keeping it crunchy. Bring water to a full boil and blanch the lotus root for about 1 to 2 minutes. Remove it immediately and place it into a bowl of ice water. This method both kills bacteria and keeps the lotus root pleasantly crunchy when making salad. Avoid iron pots and cooking notes. Do not use iron or cast iron pots. Lotus root contains many antioxidants and tannins. When cooked in an iron pot, lotus root undergoes a chemical reaction and turns black like ink. While the soup becomes cloudy. Use stainless steel, clay, ceramic, or glass cookware instead. When to add lotus root. For soup, add lotus root at the same time as the bones. The longer it simmers, the softer, starchier, and sweeter it becomes. For stir-fry dishes, cook quickly over high heat. Overcooking makes the lotus root tough and destroys its crunchiness. Lotus root as medicine. Who should use it? A miracle remedy for stopping bleeding. Lotus root contains abundant vitamin K and tannins, which help constrict blood vessels. People who frequently suffer from nosebleeds, cough up blood, or women with prolonged menstrual bleeding should eat lotus root soup or drink cooked lotus root juice. Nourishing the lungs. According to traditional Chinese medicine, lotus root helps clear internal heat, moisten the lungs, and relieve dry cough, especially during autumn and winter. Who should limit consumption? People with diabetes. Lotus root, especially the 7-whole variety, contains a large amount of starch, nearly 20%. If you eat lotus root, you should reduce your rice intake to avoid high blood sugar levels. People with cold stomach or diarrhea. Raw lotus root has a cooling nature. People with weak digestion and frequent loose stools should avoid lotus root salad and instead eat lotus root that has been thoroughly simmered with ginger.